and Bluetooth in car was not connecting. You're here now. Good on you, Kate. Good on you for your commitment. Okay, yeah, same thing's happening on Facebook. I'm not sure what's happening. I'm just going to stick with you here on Instagram. So I'd like to the main cause of your stress right now. Is it your thoughts and beliefs and the stuff that's on your mind, or is it external conditions like money pressures, workload, responsibilities, dynamics with people, your environment, particular trauma, change, like marriage, divorce, anything like that? What is the thing that is stressing you the most? Please type it in. Now, here's the thing about stress. When we are in a constant state of stress, g'day, Jamie, great to have you. Workload, yeah. Now, Mark, if I was to ask you, thanks, Mark, for being the first one to answer that question. Work, personal, money, relationship, trauma, the whole thing, Erin. Well, blessings to you, my love. It sounds like you probably are in a heightened state of stress. When all those external things are happening, we feel quite overwhelmed, right? And here's what happens when we're in stress. Our sympathetic nervous system, which is our autonomic nervous system, when we're stressed, we go into and we get completely adrenalized, meaning our adrenaline is firing off our adrenal glands, which sit on the top of our kidneys. We're in that kind of caveman, cavewoman experience where we are scared because we feel like there's a saber-toothed tiger chasing after us. So it means that we're constantly adrenalized. It puts cortisol in our system, and that's the hormone to kind of get us like out of a situation, fight, flight, or flee, right? Stress. So stress is okay sometimes. Like if you need to get stuff done, or if you're stressed, you'll get a spurt of energy and you can go and make stuff happen pretty quickly. But staying in prolonged states of stress is like the number one killer of human beings, because when we're in a constant fight, flight, or flee mechanism, it actually activates our sympathetic nervous system, which means it takes blood flow from other major organs, takes blood flow from the brain, major central organs, and our digestive system. So all of that slows down and shuts down to put the blood flow in our adrenals so we can run away from the saber-toothed tiger. Then think about it. So we're in that state. We wake up in that state. Then we have a couple of coffees. Vroom. That just puts more stress on the body, more adrenalized. So then we're sprinting away from the saber-toothed tiger. So the first thing to recognize, as you guys have written here, is if you're feeling stressed, I want you to just kind of stop and look at what are the causes for my stress. Are they internal, meaning the thoughts and the beliefs that I'm running, the fears that I'm conjuring up that maybe not even real, but I'm feeling anxious about things that haven't happened yet, A? Or B, are they real external stresses like workload, hours, key people, trauma, environment, money, change, marriage, divorce, death in the family, like this sort of stuff. Now, first unpack those. Which one is it? If it's this, first of all, my response is, I'm sorry if there's any trauma that you're experiencing. Unfortunately, the joy of life is in life, and we go through stuff which can only make us stronger. But if you're going through anything particular, I'm sending my love to you this Monday, and just want you to go, okay, cool. What can we do about this? Start to break it down. And I want to share some simple strategies for you to eliminate some of the stress that you may be feeling. The thing that we really want to make sure we get into is a parasympathetic state, which is rest and digest. So sympathetic nervous system is when we're in fight, flight, or flee. Parasympathetic nervous system is rest and digest. That's where the nervous system calms down, slows down. Our blood flow goes back to our digestion and all of our major organs, and we can function with a clear head. When we're stressed, we actually, A, aren't getting enough oxygen to the brain. B, then we won't be making really clear decisions. We'll be more reactive than responsive. The whole body is down, and know that any substances that you're taking, like a lot of coffee, is just going to be a big exclamation mark to your stress. Is this making sense? If you're on Instagram, I don't know if you can hear and see me on Facebook because it says it's recording, but I've got a black screen. If you are on Instagram and this is making sense, can you please just give me a thumbs up and let me know? Now, ways to combat external stress. here's my invitation, like Erin did. You know, she wrote down, thanks, Erin, work, personal, money, relationships, trauma. Get it out of your head and write it down. What is stressing you? So rather than have it all swirling around in your mind, write it down on a piece of paper or use a mind map. You know, like a mind map is just simply where you know, like you might just write the word stress in a piece of paper with a circle around it. And then you can just do lines like this and write down money, that relationship, that change, that experience, that whatever it is, write down. Now, once you write down all your external stresses, then what I invite you to do is prioritize them, put them in order of priority. What is stressing you the most? Is it your workload? Is it financial pressure? Is it that relationship? Is it that conversation that you need to have? Is it your upcoming speaking gig? Is it you're about to get married? Are you going through a divorce? Is there a death in the family? Like, what is it? Then unpack it and prioritize it, and what is causing you the most stress. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Jamie. Now, when you get it out of your head and onto paper, that gives you what's called a disassociated relationship with it, meaning that you're separate to it. You can start to see it clearly and break it down. It's less overwhelming. B, then you can, when you prioritize, then you can go, okay, let me tackle the first thing. What is stressing me out the most? And in Erin's case, if I can use you as an example, Erin, I think she wrote down workload. Work. So that's a big statement. Then you want to chunk it down even more. Love hearing your, look, Holly's going, love hearing your puppies. Yes, I have 2 dogs, and Chelsea, who's my girl, right? She's down at my feet, rolling around on the carpet, scratching her belly and having a ball. So you have Chelsea here on Mindset Mastery Monday as well. Good morning, your mortgage champion. I love that you acknowledge that. She just makes me so joyful. I love her so much. So if then once you've prioritized what's causing you stress, break it down. And then if it's something big like work, chunk it down. What's specifically about work? Is it a task you've got to do? Is it your overall workload? Are you under-resourced? Have you had a confrontation with someone at work? Like, what is it specifically that's impacting you at work? And then you just want to tackle one thing at a time. Think about it. If you just tackled one stressful task at a time or in a week and you just resolved it, or you restored integrity to something. So if your finances are stressing you out, if you're living beyond your means, if you haven't put away for your taxes and the financial year is looming and you're feeling overwhelmed, just restore integrity, meaning take care of business. Ignorance and avoidance, like la la la, being the emu that puts your head under the blanket or in the sand, is not going to empower you. It's going to have you be a victim, which will keep you in fight, flight, or flee, keep your sympathetic nervous system activated, and you'll be, reacting, not responding, and overwhelmed, and life will feel bigger than you. Avoidance and procrastination is not the key. By the way, one of the biggest causes of stress for me is when I procrastinate. If I have something that I need to do and I put it off and it compounds the workload, I tell you what, it causes unbelievable amounts of stress. And then what do I need to do? I need to stay up later to get it all done. Do you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? So unpack your stress, mind map it like that, put it in order of priority, and then start to go, cool, what is the action that I need to take? What is the step that I have been avoiding? What do I need to do to transform this situation? And then do it. And don't try to focus on it all at once. Focus on the one that's causing you the most stress first. Take care of it, complete it. Then you'll feel empowered. And then it's such a good tip. Rod, hello, beautiful. It is a good tip, and it's really easy, and it helps you take it off your mind. So break it down. That is key. Number 2, prioritize your schedule. Another thing about feeling overwhelmed, I'm a really big fan of doing mental stock takes, like getting things out of our head and writing them down. It just, as I said, gives us a disassociated relationship with it. We can see it more clearly. We're separate to it. And then we can prioritize which task am I going to do at a time. Really monitor your schedule. Too many of us are stressed because we've overcommitted. We're people pleasing. We're saying yes when we mean no. So my third tip is say no, thank you. Say no. Don't say yes as much as you do. Don't overcommit. When was the last time you just had space to do nothing, to have a bath, to have a cup of tea, to go for a walk, to have a sleep in? Like, I think we are adrenaline junkies in 2019, and we get off when we see our calendar so full and we're able to tick off all of our tasks. When was the last time we just had space? Do you know what I'm saying? So say no more, right? Really make sure you say no more. Finances is a really big stressor. Simplify your finances. If you're navigating lots of debt at the moment, consolidate your debt so you're paying one interest rate only, and then have a payment plan. If you're overdue or you haven't paid your tax on time, the ATO can set up payment plans with your tax. Yes, you'll be paying interest, but that's the sacrifice you make by not putting aside money for it. Now, especially in real estate, if you're in real estate, I really invite you to get a book, or actually not even just in real estate. If you're in business, get a book called Profit First. I can't remember the author's name, and I know I've got it here somewhere, but Profit First. No, it's an audio book I've got. Profit First. Typically in business, what we do is we go, cool, here's the money I want to earn. Here are all my expenses. At the end of every month, I've tried to earn what I wanted to earn. I've paid off all my expenses. Whatever I've got left is the gross profit, put away for tax, and then that's my net profit. Profit First is when you generate your revenue, put aside your profit, 10% profit, and then put aside, there's 5 different accounts to pay, wages and expenses and whatever, and whatever's left is the money you have for your variable expenses. It just forces you to be more creative. Does that make sense? We just have it a bit ass about, I think. So Profit First is a great book to help you if you're self-employed and managing your own business. Highly recommend it. Listen, if people in your world, I felt a bit Cardi B then, if people in your world are impacting you, have completion conversations with them or eliminate them from your life, because negative people will bring you down and will cause major conflict in your experience. So remove negative people from your world, from your universe, from your environment, because they're only going to bring you down. Do you know what I'm talking about? I'm just going to close this door. Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you know what it's like to have negative people in your life and the impact that they make? They drain your energy, they're energy suckers, and it's just not conducive to a great experience. So it sounds pretty harsh, eliminate negative people from your life, but it literally means love yourself enough to say goodbye to people that will drain and strain your energy, because that just doesn't work. So please be mindful of who you'll spend your time with, because you become the people that you surround yourself with. Now, be creative is a great way. What have you written here? It's the hardest word in my vocabulary. No? Is that no? Rod, is that what you're saying? Can you explain completion? Ah, yes. Okay, thank you, Holly. So, Rod, is the hardest word in your vocabulary? No, because I understand it. And let me say, if you love people, I know you do, because I love you. That's what happens. If you love people, you'll want to please people. It makes you happy. It makes you joyful when you are doing something for others. And, it just brings you joy. Now, if you overcommit to others, who's the one that suffers? You're the one that suffers, because your time's getting sucked up, your energy's being zapped, your tasks are under pressure. And Rod, here's what I know. It was hard for me to learn to say no as well, but if it has integrity for me to say no, meaning if I say yes, I know it's going to put a lot of pressure on my original commitments. And if I know I'm saying yes and it doesn't serve me, that's me wanting to people please. And what I know about people pleasing is if I'm saying yes when my truth is no, it's about seeking love, it's about seeking validation versus, just honoring myself. And that's the truth of it. It comes from a place of we love to be loved, we love to be liked, we love to seek validation, we love to know that people like us. That's why we people please. That's why we say yes when we really mean no. So the honest truth of it is, when someone asks you to do something, be somewhere, make something, create something, deliver something, and it's not true for you to do it, all you need to do is say no, thank you. Thank you for asking me. But if I take that on, it's going to put my current commitments to others under pressure. And, you know, let me think if there's a resource. And that's the thing that I do. I'll say no, thank you. And I'll think, do I know a person, a resource, a podcast, a TED Talk, a tool that I can offer as a substitute? Does that make sense, Rod? That will be a game changer for you, my friend, because I know what you're capable of. I know how much you love people, but I also know what it's like to people please. So learn to say no, thank you, and see if you can find another resource to help that person. And you're not responsible for that either. You can say no and, you know, just let them find it themselves and trust the higher, you know, design. Okay, Holly, completion exercise. There are three main reasons we get upset in life, which can cause us stress. Unmet expectations. If we have expectations of others and our or a situation and our expectations aren't met, that will make us upset. If we have withheld communication, like if something happens, if an interaction happens with someone and you don't get to say your perspective, or you don't get to speak your piece or your mind, and you swallow it, you know, you just kind of swallow it, that's, you know, withheld communication. That's going to impact your love and connection with people, and that'll definitely create stress in your being. And number three, interrupted intention is like if you're going for something, pardon me, and something externally interrupts you, like, you know, you're going on a ski trip and you know, you're driving up the mountain with the chains on your wheels and your friends and the apple schnapps and Hans and, you know, Helda and their ski classes are ready and waiting for you, and you're driving up the mountain and there's hazard tape and the road workers go, sorry, Holly, you know, the road's closed, there's no skiing today. That's an interrupted intention outside of your control. Those three things cause upset. Now, a completion exercise is where you acknowledge you're upset because something's happened, or you haven't spoken your truth, or you haven't or you've had an expectation that wasn't met, and you haven't maybe communicated that expectation. A completion exercise is where you just say to the person or people that are involved, if there's other people involved, I need to complete something. And you just get in communication. You know, I had an expectation that this would happen, and I realized I didn't communicate that expectation. And when it was a hope or a wish or a dream, and when it didn't happen, I got upset, and then I got shitty. You know, and you know, I'm sorry, do you forgive me? All right. And that completes the energy of it. Or something happens between you and somebody else and it's incomplete, meaning you haven't got back to love and connection, or you haven't agreed to disagree, or harmony is not present, and it's just upset. Completing it means this is incomplete. Let's complete it. And everything can be created or healed or completed inside of communication. It takes a level of vulnerability and courage to do it, though, because sometimes we just like to stay mad at people, right? Make them suffer because they should have known better. Brilliant, thank you. Does that make sense, Holly? So here's the thing: if you're upset with attention, they're the three reasons, main causes. B, if you're how do you know if you're incomplete? You're upset. You feel suki lala, you feel shitty, you're triggered, you're charged. Then you got to look at what's incomplete. Is it an expectation? Do I need to get something off my chest and share my perspective? And that takes some really pretty good communication skills. Or did something happen outside of my control and I just need to let it go? Like really, a lot of the stuff that we stress about is stuff that we just need to let go. It's out of our control. We can't do anything about it. So completion exercise is completing anything that's incomplete. And that's just looking at what are the causes of upset and what can you say to the people involved or the person involved to help you move through it. Now, another thing, if you're feeling stressed, get into action, especially if you're procrastinating. Procrastination is the biggest cause of my stress. So get into action and chunk things down and do things swiftly. eliminate stress is clear clutter. Eliminate the stuff that is weighing you down. Clear out your wardrobe, clear out your car, clear out the pantry, clean out the fridge, clear out your cupboards, your drawers. Eliminate the unnecessary clutter that takes up space and weighs you down. And finally, from the external stresses, restore integrity, meaning if you gave your word to something and you haven't completed it, then you need to be in communication. If there is something you said you would do and you haven't done it, get it done. And if you're wondering where to start, please do that mind map of what's causing me stress, prioritize it, and tackle one thing at a time, and you'll be amazed at what you can get done in a short space of time. Now, when it comes to internal stress, which is your thoughts and beliefs, your fears of what might happen, the best thing I can say is when you are feeling stressed, you know, your breathing is shallow, you're heightened, stop and feel your feet on the ground and wriggle your toes to ground you. Connect to your heart and slow your breathing down. Best way to start reducing the amount of stress. So even notice now, as you're listening to this, if you slow down, if you relax your belly, if you relax your jaw, drop your shoulders, slow down your breathing, bring everything into a centered attention now. Slow down. It's a great way to slow down, reduce the experience of stress. Because when we're in that, we are reacting, and not necessarily doing what works for us. Slowing down, relaxing our breathing, relaxing our belly, wriggling our toes, grounding ourselves, aligning with the here and now. Definitely limit the physical experiences of stress. And if you are feeling stressed, I invite you to look. Are you thinking, is your mind in the past of things that have happened, or are you forecasting the future and your fears that may produce in the future? Don't be in the past and don't be in the future. That will definitely create stress. The best way to be empowered is to be right here, right now, as Eckhart Tolle says, in the power of now. And when you do that, bring your attention to the here and now, wiggle your toes, eliminate your stress, and just breathe. Then the question I ask you to ask yourself is, what would I love right now? Like, what would I love? And just move towards what you will love. I'd love to get this done. Okay, turn off all distraction and get it done. G'day, Brendan. Great to have you here. Oh, yeah, clean out. So much fun. Yes, Kate, I was thinking about you when I was saying that. Kate's just done she took on the coaching. She's done a huge clean out. I think it was, what, Kate, how many coat hangers? 147 coat hangers or so. Just taking up space. So there's just some really, really quick tips on how you can reduce stress. A lot of it happens here, stuck in the past, forecasting in the future, fearing things that may not even actually happen. Bring your attention into the here and now, breathe and slow down, and then take all those actions that I said before and do one at a time to eliminate stress. Did you find that useful? By the way, if you're watching this live, g'day, Snow Bunny Spice. What a fantastic name, Snow Bunny Spice. How are you, beautiful Snow Bunny Spice? I don't want you to go overseas. I like seeing your face. If you found that useful, please let me know. Give me a thumbs up. Remember, I'm completely here for you. So Mindset Mastery Monday is free peak performance coaching for you if you're experiencing any particular challenge, issue, worry, or concern. Okay? I'm for you. All for you. So if you have a question, DM me, email me at tmcoaching.com.au. Send me a direct message, flick me a private message on Facebook, and you can ask any question at all, whether it's real estate related or not. And I will do my best to provide an aid to your queue. And it will be anonymous, okay? I will never say your name or where you're from. So I'm going to leave you with that. Please let me know if you found that useful. Give me a thumbs up or a smiley face. DM me or reach out if you have any particular question for something you're navigating. And remember to do that stress exercise that I mentioned here. And if you want to go back and have a look at any of the podcasts I've done before, just head to tmjcoaching.com.au, and there's TMJ TV on the menu, and every single video that I've done is all there. And if you want join our email tribe, just message me and we'll get Kritty, my beautiful EA, to get you in our tribe and make sure you just get 2 emails a week with Mindset Mastery Monday and Rapid Fire Friday. So I wish you a beautiful week. Thank you for your beautiful birthday messages for yesterday. And as always, in the words of Maya Angelou, people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Make yourself and others feel great today, because you're a miracle floating in a rock in space. Let's live like it's our last day. Treat people kindly, give love to the barista, don't walk past the cleaners in food courts. They matter too. All right, awesome. Have a beautiful day. Much love. Have a great week. And I don't know if we are live on Facebook because my screen is black. So I'm just going to refresh. If you are on Facebook and you could hear and see me, I love you, but I can't see or hear you.